Hello there friends, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel for another video. Today we're going to be making some fun shaker cards for fall, and let's talk about what we're using. I have the shaker frame die. This is the doily. These are from Emily Moore, and if you haven't checked her out before, she is fabulous. Her products are great. This is the gift card holder die. I've used these before, not the shaker, but I've used the All the Happy Things stamp set, which is great because I love the font of the sentiments, and there's so many great ones in there, and obviously it's for celebrating all of the occasions, even some of those that might be obscure, I suppose, like, hey, you got a cat. I think that's great, or you got a dog, or parents, all that. It's going to be great. And then I do have the numbers and gifting stamp set. I'm not going to, actually I do use one stamp out of that, but if you wanted to put the amount on your gift card holder, you could do that as well. I have an array of some different shaker bits that we're going to use in there. This one is so cute. It's called Little Boo. We also have Sea Glass Twinkle and Sunset Peach. And then this is a Grapefruit Iridescent Shaker Pop. And then the paper that I have, because those shaker bits were based off of this, is called Harvest from scrapbook.com. I put the colors that match with this, and I did look and see online. They still have the 6x8 patterned collection, but in the smooth cardstock, all they have is that A2 size left. So if it's something you're interested in, I'd go jump on that, because I don't know if this is something that'll be around for much longer. 5 sheets of each pattern, 5 sheets of each color, and they're actually really good price. So I'll have everything linked down below, but let's go ahead and get started. I did pull out some various patterns and some smooth cardstock, and I haven't quite decided at this point. I'm just kind of looking around at those. In the end, I choose those two in the middle for the outside of my shaker, and we're gonna make a Halloween one. So like I said, these are both going to be fall, obviously, and so I'll pull out that shaker die. And this actually measures slightly smaller than the front of an A2 size card. And an A2 is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. So just slightly smaller. And so I cut those out both from the pattern paper. But I wanted to show you what makes this die so cool is the little details on it. Just check that out. There's that beautiful like stitching, I suppose is what you could call it, and then the doily with the little stitches around the outside of that. You could use what you have, but I just thought that is so pretty. And then we're going to cut these down to be the A2 size because these are going to go behind our shaker. That's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. So that'll give a little bit of a border all the way around, and then you can see that really pretty pattern or that smooth color right behind where the shaker is going to be. So let's get started making those shakers. I'm going to use some transparency film. I've had this for years. You could use acetate. You could use old packaging if you wanted. I use this transparency stuff. You can't emboss on it. You probably could stamp on it using like a StazOn ink, but I never have embossed on acetate anyway. I know they make some of that, but just to me, it's just not that big of a deal. So I use the transparency film because it was inexpensive. And so I'll stick one piece down. And what I do with my shakers, because I'm just not coordinated enough to bring the back right to it, I have to use 2 pieces. And you'll see what I'm talking about. So I put my first piece down to cover that shaker opening. And then we're going to bring in some foam tape. Now this is foam tape that I have had for a while, and I have it in abundance. This company is not in business anymore, but my favorite, if we're talking about my favorite to use, it's the World's Best Foam Tape by Pearblossom Press. I just have this stuff that I'm using in excess, and I'm a firm believer in kind of using what you have. And so I save my World's Best for my light up cards, if I can help it. And like I said, I have this stuff in excess, so we're going to use this. Just some sort of foam tape is what you need. And you do need, if you're going to encase any sort of shaker bits, you want to make sure that everything is butted up against each other. You don't want any space for those shaker bits to be able to fall out. Peel off that release paper. That's a very important part before you add your shaker bits. And then you can add your shaker bits. So I really love this Little Boo collection. It has ghosts in big size, medium size, small size. It also has little clay hearts, little clay circles, and then it also has some little silver stars in there. So this is a very fun mix, and it just went so cute with those little spider webs. So I really, really like this one. And now what I like to do is take another piece of acetate and put it over the back. So that just encases everything, and I don't have to worry about losing my bits or shaking those pieces out. This just works for me, and because that transparency stuff is just not that expensive, I don't mind using it. Now I do need to add more foam tape all around the edge because this is going to be attached to a shadow piece, that A2 piece that I cut out using the smooth cardstock. So now I'll peel off that release paper all around the outside edge of my beautiful doily shaker frame. I really do love the detail on it. It's so pretty. And I think I can use these. I know I can use these for all kinds of occasions. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the middle one, the middle section, avoiding where the acetate is. And then I'll just stick this right down on top of that shadowed piece. How cute is that? I love that. Makes me happy. All right, so while we've got all those pieces, we're going to make the next shaker, and it's the same process, but this way I can just show you again. So bringing in that foam tape that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and put the foam tape all around the outside edge as well. Again, where you put your shaker bits, you want to make sure that you are butting your foam tape up against each other so that none of that can escape. You don't want that stuff falling out. Ask me how I know, because I have done that. All right, so we're just about done putting all that foam tape on there, and I'm going to peel off just the release paper from the inside. We'll leave the outside for a bit. So I'll peel off all of that release paper. And then I'm actually going to add the 3 shaker pouches that you see left. So this one is the Iridescent Shaker Pops in the color Grapefruit. There are lots of different colors. These are so pretty, and they go well in all the shakers. There's so many colors. I can't even remember how many colors there are, but there's a lot. And I'll have that linked down below. You can head and check that out. This next one is called Sunset Peach. I don't know, or Sunset Beach maybe? I don't know if that one's still available. And then I also have the Sea Glass Twinkle. I'm sure we all have so many different embellishments. You could go through your stash and find all kinds of stuff in there that would be fun to use. All right, putting another piece of acetate just in the middle. And now I'll peel off the release paper for the rest of the outside. And then I'll grab my patterned paper and I will flip this down on top of that, trying my best to get that centered on there. And what would make the world's best foam tape better than this is that if you didn't get it on there straight, you can always peel it off. You got about 30 minutes. But check those out. Are those not so cute? All right, so let's make our gift card holder that's going to go on the inside of each of these cards. I'm going to grab some of that pattern paper that I've already used for the inside. We'll use the spider web for our little ghost one, and then we're going to use those really pretty mint trees for our fall leaves. And I die cut those out. What makes these great is that they do have little notches for your gift card to go on in. I'm going to glue all around the outside. You could put a little on the middle if you wanted, but you have to avoid those areas where you've got the tab, because that's where your gift card is going to stick in. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll grab a gift card, and then, sorry, I'm off screen, but there are the little tabs, and your gift card will just sit in there nicely like that. So it works out great. And then I'll go ahead and glue down my panel to my base. And that base measured 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches and was scored at 4 1/4. So it is a top folding A2 size card. And then we're going to use a cream colored one for this one. It just seemed to fit. Once again, avoiding those tabs. And then I'll glue my panel to my base. And then we can start thinking about our sentiments. Now, I went a little bit different. Normally you wouldn't think of a congratulations for the one with the ghosts, but this is going to go to my son. And I know it's kind of maybe girly colors, whatever. I just love those spider webs. And this other one is going to be a birthday card. So my son just got a new job. So proud of him. When he got out of the Army, he actually worked for the FBI for a little bit of time. He really just hated it. He is somebody who needs to work with his hands. So he decided that he was going to go to school. And so he's about to graduate with his associates in not only electrical, but also in mechatronics. And I'm so proud of him. He literally just got offered a job this week. Graduates in December, but he's going to start that job pretty soon. And so I'm just so proud of him, so excited for him. And so the ghosts are going to go to him. All right, so I'll put a little bit of liquid glue on our It's Your Birthday. We'll put that in the center. And then, of course, I do have to grab a few of those Sea Glass Twinkle, and I'm going to put those around our sentiment. I just thought that was just a little fun extra touch. Could totally avoid that if you didn't want to do it, but that I just couldn't not do it. So that's what we're doing. And then we're going to do the same. So I'm using my pickup stick and some liquid glue to do that. Now we're going to stamp out our sentiments for the one that's going to my son. So it's congratulations, it's your day. And like I said, maybe that's that doesn't go together, but it's perfect for the season. And I think he would really appreciate how cute those ghosts are. I don't think he'd say they're cute. He'd probably be like, that's fun, Mom. But it makes me happy. So he'll just go with it. All right, so we're putting congratulations, or no, so proud of you, not it's your day, but there is it's your day in that stamp set. So congratulations, so proud of you. And then I am going to add a few of those little ghosts and a few of those stars and clay hearts around the outside as well, because I just can't not, right? Those ghosts are too cute. And it's perfect. All right, so we'll use our liquid glue to do that. But I really do love these dies from Emily Moore. They're so sweet. And again, these can be used for any season and all kinds of occasions. So that's what we're doing. I'll probably bring this out again later. You'll see it again, and I'll use it maybe for Christmas. But yeah, such fabulous sets. Check it out. I love how these shake. Those ghosts are so fun. It says love on the inside. And then we've got the It's Your Birthday one. So happy with these. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Go check out the Emily Moore store. She's got some fun stuff in there. And I will see you very soon in another video. Thanks, everybody.